Hello and welcome to another video. Today, as you can see right behind me, we're just back from the racetrack. We're back from Lausitzring, from Reisbrennen. It was quite an interesting day. I just cleaned the car and now I'm gonna clean everything else. So we're ready for the next event, which will be on the 17th of October at the Onboard in France. It's a racetrack very close to where I live, so that's pretty easy for us to go there. We just go in the morning and can head back in the evening. So that's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be another test day for us because we have a lot to test and a lot of experience to gain with this car. Yeah. About last weekend. So let me show you a few pictures and a few onboard shots, and just so you get an idea of what happened. So yeah, that's what we've done this weekend. It was a lot of fun. At the beginning it was very wet. Actually, at the day when we arrived it was 30 degrees. It was incredible hot, and but it was very dry, obviously, so it was very easy to unload everything. And then it started to rain, and it was so wet basically the whole day. And in the morning it was very wet, or in the first session, so that's when the all-wheel drive shine. And I also like to drive in the rain, so I got first in the first session. I knew that's not gonna hold, and I think sixth overall. That's also not too bad considering the other cars that were there, so that was pretty fun. And then it started to clear up a bit. It started to rain less, and in the evening it was nearly dry, not fully dry, but quite dry. It still had in a few damp places, and one place where it was still very wet in one corner. So yeah, it was Saturday. It was a cool test day to see how the car behaves and everything, but it wasn't a test day, so you could set up the car for the following day. But it was the same for everyone else, so that was cool. And yeah, I realized pretty early that the car's too low, because we scratched at the rear end. I scratched the front end as well. Let me show you. These are my titanium skid plates. As you can see, they were once blue all around. As you can see here, it's just a little bit left, but yeah. And also on the outer side and the front of the splitter, it wasn't too bad actually. These things did what they designed to do. They just made sure my splitter isn't gonna come loose completely, or it's gonna get destroyed completely, so that was pretty good. There was a very rough bump on the inner side of the left of the last corner. So I avoided that as much as possible, except for 2 times. The first time I was alone in the car, and I felt it bump down or hit the ground pretty hard. And the second time was with my mechanic. I was overtaking someone on the inside, and as soon as I committed to the overtake, I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna hurt. And he knew what's gonna happen, so that's what you saw maybe in the video. But overall the car's feeling pretty well. We have still a few issues fuel related. I can't go up in the highest map, in the highest map, it just consumes too much fuel, and then it runs out of fuel pretty fast. And in left-hand corners, the fuel is gonna get pushed on the right side of the tank. The fuel pump is on the left side, so I'm not getting enough fuel. Fuel pressure drops, and it's gonna shut down. So it just goes into limp mode to save the engine. That happened 2 or 3 times in higher maps, so I could just go with the lower maps, but it was all right. I don't think it would have made any huge difference. It was like maybe 30-40 horsepower, which I couldn't use. Yeah, I think we have to go with the catch tank, because we are not gonna solve that with a bigger fuel pump. And I also have already foam in the tank, so that didn't help either. Yeah, so now I'm gonna lift up the car. At the rear, it did scratch at the bolt in the wheel arch. We just removed the bolt and taped the back down, so that worked. And now I have to find a better solution, obviously, for next event. I'm also gonna raise the rear maybe 5 millimeters, so just to have enough clearance for everything. And I'm also gonna raise the front and another 5 millimeters, because I had to turn the dampers to fully closed, so full hard. And that's why you see the car bumping a lot. It's just too hard. But I had to do it, because otherwise I would have touched the ground even more. So it's always testing. And with the new suspension, I'm quite happy, with how the body roll is. But now when I'm gonna race the car a little bit, I can soften the damping a little bit more, and the car is gonna feel most likely a little bit better. So that's it. Other than that, we didn't have any issues at all. I just drove, I think, 5 sessions at 20 minutes, so 120 minutes just full flat out, and it was quite fun. A lot of people did change tires like 2 or 3 times because of the conditions. I just put on 1 set of A052s, Yokohamas, and I just drove them the whole weekend, and I think they're pretty gone now. Yeah, they look pretty bald. That's not much left. Wait, let me show you. As you can see, there's not much tread left. I'm gonna use them for the next test day, for the first few sessions, or the first session maybe. Yeah, maybe only the first. When it's dry, it's the tires get used up pretty quickly, but yeah, in the wets, obviously. So that's basically it for this video. In the end, you're gonna see some onboard footage, like the fastest lap I did in the complete drive, and then also some very rainy laps where I was a lot slower. Yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. And other than that, nothing more to say. Have a good week. See you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.